Moving on to the United States now, where the impeachment inquiry against President Donald Trump is heading towards a crucial juncture. According to the Washington Post, President Trump has discussed the possibility of having Attorney General Barr hold a press conference. This is something that has emerged after conversations surrounding the ongoing impeachment inquiry in the last few weeks and the ideas that have been deliberated upon by Trump's team. According to Trump, the idea of a fresh press conference could help project the message that he hadn't done anything wrong. In recent tweets, the U.S. president has disputed the reportage by Washington Post that he had asked Barr to publicly defend him. However, the Washington Post story does not say that he had asked Attorney General Barr directly. While Barr may not have held a press conference, the U.S. Justice Department publicly announced that criminal division prosecutors had found no wrongdoing by the president. And today, an aide to Vice President Mike Pence is testifying before the House committee. Jennifer Williams has arrived for her closed-door deposition. Williams was also a part of that July 25th conversation between President Donald Trump and his Ukrainian counterpart Volodymyr Zelensky, which is at the heart of this impeachment row. Meanwhile, Trump's former National Security Advisor, John Bolton, is scheduled to testify today as well, but chances that he will show up are slim. Public hearings have been scheduled over the next week, and Washington is bracing itself for a political storm, to say the least. The Intelligence Committee of the lower chamber of the legislature will be holding open hearings of 3 senior diplomats who have revealed damning details about Trump's telephonic conversation. William Taylor, the top U.S. diplomat in Ukraine, Deputy Assistant Secretary of State George Kent, and former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, Mary Yovanovitch, will feature in what is likely to be a high-octane public deposition. Adam Schiff, the chairman of the Legislative Intelligence Committee, has said that there will be more public hearings in the future. Schiff has released a transcript of William Taylor's closed-door deposition, which has been called the most damaging to the Trump administration. Let's now show you a crucial excerpt from that transcript, which clearly reveals Trump's quid pro quo. Take a look at Taylor's reply when he is asked whether Trump leveraged military aid for opening an investigation against Joe Biden and his son Hunter. Taylor replied, and I'm quoting, "That was my clear understanding. Security assistance money would not come until the president of Ukraine committed to pursue the investigation," unquote. And when asked again, Taylor reaffirms that there was indeed a quid pro quo coming from US's top diplomat in Ukraine. This is incriminating evidence against the U.S. president. Even if the legislature finds Trump guilty and votes to impeach him, the process is only half done. The biggest obstacle facing the Democrats is the Republican-controlled upper chamber of legislature. Over the last few weeks, Republicans have lined up behind their president, and Majority Leader Mitch McConnell made it clear that his legislators would not impeach Donald Trump. But the president himself did not seem concerned about the implications of the public hearing. He still maintains that there was no quid pro quo in his telephonic conversation with the Ukrainian president. Trump, in fact, trained his guns on former Vice President Joe Biden. And joining us on the broadcast this minute is our correspondent, Nick Harper. The proceedings, we believe, have already begun with William Taylor arriving for that testimony. What more are you picking up on that front?
Yeah, as you mentioned, all of those details, there's so much happening so quickly, and we are moving towards a very critical part of this whole proceeding. Now, William Taylor will be appearing next Wednesday. That will be a public testimony, and it will be the first one. And that's why this is moving in a very different direction, because up until now we've had these closed-door hearings led by the Democrats that have resulted in these transcripts. And those transcripts have been released over the last few days. They're beginning beginning to show, the Democrats say, the American public that the president was very much using his public office for his personal gain, to get Ukraine to try and investigate his political opponent's son, Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden. But the Democrats say that by moving this into the public sphere, by having live television cameras in the room and having those people testify under oath, it will show the American public in a very stark way that the president was doing this. Because these testimonies are all well and good. It gives people the opportunity to read them. But having a soundbite from a live testimony that can be replayed, the Democrats hoped that it will help to sway public opinion, to try and show that the president was standing in the way of that aid going to Ukraine because he essentially wanted a favour in return. Now, the Republicans also feel that this is good news, having these public testimonies next week on Wednesday and Friday, because they say up until now all of this has been carried out in secret. These closed-door meetings have not allowed the American public, the Republicans say, the opportunity to see exactly what is going on. They've wanted this opened up, and they've wanted the ability to publicly cross-examine these witnesses under oath. And they feel that bringing it into a public arena with those television cameras and with the general public watching will allow them to do that. So we have more closed-door testimony during the course of today, but the public testimony will begin on Wednesday and Friday next week, with many more people expected to testify. Those people who have been behind closed doors testifying up until now will return to testify once again, to say the same thing, to be asked the same questions, but it will be in that live public arena.
Nick, Harper telling us what is lying in store for the next few days as far as the impeachment inquiry is concerned. We're going to leave it there for the moment.